So before we get to cleaning, I decided to go ahead and make myself an iced coffee. And to do that today, I am actually using Javy coffee. This is a coffee concentrate that you use to make coffee. You can either make an iced coffee or you can also make hot coffee with it. And it just makes it a little easier because instead of having to brew your own coffee, all you do is you just dump a couple of teaspoons of this coffee concentrate into whatever liquid you choose to use, and it just magically makes you a cup of coffee. I really like it because you are able to use the perfect amount of coffee that you like. So personally, I am not the type of person who likes a strong coffee flavor, and so I really like this because I am able to adjust the amount of coffee that I am using to where I'm not getting too much of a coffee flavor, but I'm also still getting the benefits of drinking coffee and the energy and stuff like that, especially on days when I need to do a lot of cleaning. I feel like this is awesome. I've also been using it inside of my protein shakes after I work out, and it tastes great in there as well. So I have been trying this coffee for a few months now, and I do really like the flavor of it. They also have other flavors on their website, which I am kind of interested to try. It has been great to be able to save money because going to Starbucks a lot is really hard on your wallet, so this has really helped with that. And yeah, I will leave a link in the description for you guys to the Javy website if you are interested in trying their coffee. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the cleaning. So to start off with, I'm gonna go ahead and make my bed. This is something that I like to do, especially when I know I have to do a lot of cleaning. I wasn't planning on really cleaning my bedroom, but I just knew that I had to make the bed because when I make the bed, it at least helps me to feel motivated, and just knowing that I at least got one thing done in the bedroom does help. So after I got that done, then I decided to go ahead and make myself a list. So I feel like I am the type of person where I don't really do lists when I clean, but at the same time, I feel like I start cleaning a certain area and then I get distracted. Like I could be cleaning the living room, I walk into my daughter's room and I notice it's really dirty and I'll start picking up stuff in there. So I feel like having lists really does help you to concentrate on cleaning certain things, and it's just easy to make a list, and I guess you could say it's a lot easier to not get yourself overwhelmed with the amount of cleaning that you have to do in your home. So if you write stuff down, then it's easier to kind of concentrate on those areas and not stress too much about the other stuff. So for me, this was the stuff that I wanted to complete this week. And as long as I got this stuff done, then I would feel accomplished. And then the following week, I was going to do another list and just add on the stuff that I didn't get to finish this week. So it is something new that I am trying out, and so far has been working really well. So if you are a person like me where you just can't seem to stay focused on cleaning one certain area, or I guess something that's bad about me is that when I do clean, I feel like I have to clean everything in one day, and that can be really overwhelming, especially when you take so much time to clean everything and then the next day the kids come through and just destroy everything. I feel like that would really frustrate me. So being able to clean this way, where I'm only doing a few things every day for a week, it just has helped with that, to where I just feel like I don't have to clean the entire house in one day. So once I got that done, then I went ahead and started cleaning the lights, the hanging lights here in my kitchen, because they were so dirty. I have not cleaned these since we moved into the house, and it's been a little over, well, I would say a year and a half now, and they were really dusty. One of them in particular got super dirty because my Instant Pot, when I would bleed off the pressure, it would like blow the steam right on that light there, and so it just got super dirty. So I really wanted to clean it especially for that. And then I had noticed that there was like cobwebs at the very top of the wires, or whatever you call them, going up to the ceiling for the electrical for these lights. So anyway, that's what I was going to do, and then I will move on to the dishes in the kitchen.
I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why. I'm always feeling homesick. Oh. All I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing.
So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to cleaning this kitchen. And starting off with the dishes, we do accumulate a lot of dishes here in this household, being a family of 6. So yeah, I feel like I'm constantly doing dishes, but then I'm like, isn't that the same in every other household? But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about a few things while you guys watch me clean. Just kind of, I guess, kind of get some stuff off of my chest or off my mind. So I feel like with my YouTube channel, I am constantly like really active, and then I'll go through periods of just I'm not posting anymore. And I just kind of wanted to talk about that. And I honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like a burnout, but I really tried the last time I started uploading regularly to not overwhelm myself. For a period when I first started YouTube, I was uploading a video every single day, and that was really hard. And then I kind of switched it to 3 days a week, 2 days a week, and then most recently I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try and get at least 1 video up a week. And I was doing really well, and then all of a sudden I just stopped. And I don't think this time it was necessarily because of burnout. I do feel like the times in the past when I did stop, it was because I was doing too much. I did actually get COVID recently, and I think that's what really kind of kick-started it this time. And then on top of that, my kids started getting sick back to back. But for some reason, I just felt like I have been going through a lot of stuff spiritually, I guess you could say. I have always been a spiritual person. Like, I've always loved God. And but when it comes to like religion, I actually was raised Mormon as a kid, and I really loved the church when I was a kid. It was just a fun place for me, and I always kind of grew up knowing that God was with me, and in every situation that I was presented with, I was constantly praying. So something that I did deal with as a kid is my dad was always drinking, and he was a great dad, I would say, as when it comes to like providing for the family. So we always had everything we needed, and I always absolutely loved my dad. But when he would drink, he would turn into a different person. And one of the things that he did was that he would always drink and drive with us in the car. And so with that, I remember just so many times as a kid, just being in that car with my dad and just being so scared, of getting in a car accident or whatever. And I would just pray. And so I felt like I always had that with me. Like I always just leaned on God for everything. And whenever we moved from Utah, where I grew up as a kid, to New Mexico, where I live now, we stopped going to the LDS church. And for me, I kind of always felt a longing to go back, but I never really... I tried, I think, later on when I was older, when I had like my own car and stuff, and I was actually moved out with my current husband. I tried to go back, and I just didn't feel like that was where I was supposed to be, which was really hard for me because I had longed for so many years to go back to the LDS church. But when I went back, like I said, I just didn't feel like that was where I was supposed to be. And plus on top of that, my husband was Catholic, and he wasn't really super active. Like he wouldn't go to church every Sunday, but he was baptized in the Catholic Church and had his communion and everything like that. And something that was a little more unique about me was that even though I went to the LDS Church, I still felt open to other churches, which I think is really weird, especially because something that I remember being taught as a kid in the church was that the LDS Church is the true church. And I just always remember saying that, like, I believe this church is true and, stuff like that. But in my heart, I kind of felt like, I don't want to say that it wasn't true, but that I just felt like other churches were good too. And I think that was especially because my dad was also Catholic. He wasn't super active, but he was Catholic. And I just knew him and like other people, family, friends who were Catholic. And I guess you could say that I just kind of felt like you didn't have to be Mormon to go to heaven. And it was kind of strange because like I said, that's not something that I was taught. It was just something that was just always in me. So I don't know if that was something that God had put in me since before I was born or what, but I just always had that thought or, that feeling. So anyway, kind of going back to the story about me and my husband. When we moved in together, I told him like I really want to go back to church, and I told him that I would be willing to go with him to the Catholic church, but that I just really wanted to go. And it took a little time, I think mainly because we were so young, for us to start going to church regularly, but eventually we did. And then I decided to go ahead and join the Catholic church so that I could marry him through the church, because that was something that I really desired. We were already married in the courts, but I really wanted to marry him through the church because I just, being a person who really loved God, and I've always been really spiritual in that way, I just felt like that was something that was like important for me. And in order to do that, I did have to join the Catholic Church, and I did everything that I needed to, and we were able to get married, and I was really happy about it. So anyway, I just kind of want to give you that information just to kind of give you a background of me and kind of where I come from in regards to like what I believe as far as there being a true church or there being a right church, I guess you could say. And that's just because that will really play into kind of what I'm going to be talking about and kind of my spiritual journey that I am going through right now. So yeah, I will be back here in a minute to kind of continue with this story. Momentos que siento reales. Yo lo prefiero que en un largo tiempo sea tu caballero. Tú me ves como nadie más, bebé. Me diste alas para que vuele, pero motivos para quedarme. Tú me ves como nadie más, bebé. Tú me curas cuando más me duele. Sé que siempre has sabido amarme. Se volvió ese chico que habló en mis canciones, esas madrugadas y hermosas conversaciones. Se volvió ese chico que quería ver
más, bebé. Me diste alas para que vuele, pero motivos para quedarme. Tú me ves como nadie más, bebé. Me diste alas.
So up next, I'm going to go ahead and get this stove clean, and to do that, I am going to go ahead and spray it down with my Method degreaser. And I actually did run out of this, so I picked up the 409 multi-surface cleaner and I just sprayed it with that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take out my steam cleaner and just go ahead and steam the grate. And to clean the grate and the stovetop, I am using the steamer, but I'm also using a Brio pad. And that's just because there are a lot of areas on the stove that get really burnt on, like those little spots that get on your stove that you kind of almost have to scrape off in order to remove them. I find that using the steam and the Brio pad does really help to get that nice and clean. So going back to my story that I was talking about earlier, I have been going to the Catholic Church ever since pretty much I met my husband. So we've been together for quite a while, and I had been going to the church for many years before I actually joined the church. And so it just felt really good to be able to be a part of it and to be married to him in God's eyes, I guess you could say. And so another thing that had happened recently in my life is that my sister was going through some stuff, and to the point where she was addicted to drugs and she was just not living a life that I had expected for her. And it was really hard for me because I'd always looked up to my oldest sister. Like, she was always that mother figure to me, and I just always really looked up to her. And so when that started happening, it really affected me because first of all, I didn't even really know that she had been doing stuff like that for a long while. And so when I found out, it was just really devastating to me. And then our relationship just started getting really rocky, and we started to grow apart. And like I said, that was really hard on me because we had always been so close. But then she completely changed her life around. She found God, and it was just so crazy to me because I had been praying for her constantly throughout this time when she would be gone for weeks and months and we wouldn't know where she was. And I would always pray for her. And I remember just one night just completely breaking down and just telling God, like, I don't know what to do and I don't know how to help her, and just like begging God, like, please just give me my sister back, because I was just really missing that relationship. And not too long later, she had an experience and she completely turned her life around. And now presently she goes to a non-denominational Christian church, but we do talk a lot about God and like the Bible and stuff like that. And some of the things we talked about really started to resonate with me. And so I have really been going on this journey where I feel like I kind of stopped really uploading stuff on YouTube because I felt in my heart like I wanted to focus on my relationship with God. And I just felt like doing these videos was taking up a lot of my time, a lot of time that I could be spending reading the Bible or studying or just stuff like that. I kind of feel like that's why I really did take a break. I just honestly felt like God was pulling me in a different direction. And so I decided to go ahead and take a little bit of a break from my YouTube channel. And one of the things that my sister talked to me about that really stuck with me was she was talking about how it is important to have a relationship with God. And when she said that, at first I just kind of, was like, yeah, and I kind of like blew it off. But as time went, I felt like God was kind of tugging at me to kind of listen to what she was saying, because I feel like there is a difference between being religious and having a relationship with God. And I think it is really important to not only have your religion, but also to have that personal relationship with God. And I honestly didn't feel like I had that in my adult life. I still had those feelings I did when I was a kid, and I still always prayed and I still always relied on God, but I didn't know and I didn't understand that there was something else that I could have that I was missing out on, and that is like a true relationship with God. Because even though as a kid and even as a teenager I did still love God and I still prayed all the time, I never read the Bible. And it wasn't until my adult years that I finally decided to go ahead and read the Bible. And what I did was I just started from the beginning and I read all the way from the beginning to the end of the Bible. And then I remember that was around the time that my sister started really getting into reading herself, and I just kind of started noticing that she was getting a lot more from it than I felt like I was. And I couldn't understand why, because I was like, we're reading the same things, and I just don't understand like why I'm not getting as much out of it as she is. Like, we would talk about stories and I'd be like, yeah, I know that story, but then she was able to like relate a lot of the stuff to her life and like get a real lesson out of it without having to have someone else explain it to her. And then with talking to her, I started to realize that it's not just about reading the Bible like front to back. It's more about reading and like listening to what God is saying, and like meditating on the word and stuff like that is really important. So I just wanted to take a moment real quickly and just remind you guys that any of the products that I am using, I will go ahead and list in the description down below. Because this video, I am not really talking to you guys or describing exactly what I'm doing. I will make sure that I have all of that down below. So if you see anything that I am using in this video and you're interested to try it, look in the description and it will all be listed down there.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others.
So pretty much the conclusion that I came to was that I realized that I can still have my religion, so I can still go to the Catholic Church and do everything that they are asking of me to do, but that I also need to make sure that I am growing my personal relationship with God, because I honestly felt like it wasn't until I started growing my personal relationship with God that I started getting experiences and honestly feeling like God is leading me and able to speak to me in ways. And something that was hard for me as well that I had always heard a lot of people talking about how God would speak to them, and I was just always like, how does God speak to you? And one of the things that I did come to realize is that when people say that God speaks to them, it's not necessarily like an audible voice that they hear. It's more of like a prompting that you kind of feel in your spirit. And for me, at the place that I'm at right now, a lot of times I'm just like, I don't know if that is actually God prompting me to do something or not, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because I feel like it could be. And a lot of times when I feel like when it is actually God talking to me, I will get confirmation of that in the Bible, in like something that I will read later on. And it's really crazy because I will be in a situation where I'm just like, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do, but I feel like God is wanting me to do it, so I will just go ahead and do it. And then a couple of days later, or even that same day, I will go to read a part of the Bible, and it will relate specifically to that question that I had or that situation that I was in. And so it will confirm to me that that was actually God speaking to me and prompting me to do that thing, because it is now confirmed in the Bible and what I am reading.
I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire.
So next up, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my daughter's room, and her room was a huge mess. She had been playing in here with her cousins, and when her cousins come over, they tend to go through everything and just like take everything out of like where I put them, and I think it's because they don't know exactly what toys she has, and so they're just like wanting to look through everything and just see everything. And it's not necessarily that they're playing with them, they just for some reason want to see them. So I decided it was time to actually go through her toys and just kind of take out everything that is broken that can be thrown away, and then just kind of reorganize them and put them back where they were supposed to be. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to reorganize a little bit and just kind of find a place for everything to go. So I just went ahead and put all of her smaller toys in her backpack. This is an old backpack that she used the year before. So I decided to go ahead and put all of the small stuff in there. And then I just kind of took everything out, like I said, that I wanted to separate. So all of her Rainbow High clothes, and then all of like her dollhouse stuff I put separately. I put all of her sunglasses in a little bag, and all of her mini brands in a separate little basket. That way they're kind of a little more organized. So right now she is playing with her Rainbow High dolls and her mini brands more than any of her other toys. So I decided to go ahead and take those out of the backpack. That way she's not going through all of like the rest of the little toys when looking for those specific things, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and just get this closet looking a little better. And then I did also decide to go ahead and rearrange her room, which you will see here in a little bit. I just felt like her room just wasn't flowing well for me, and I had been thinking about arranging it the way that I did for a while now, and so I just wanted to try it out and see how I liked it. And then I also needed to go ahead and put up her Christmas tree, which I actually did not film because she wanted to help, and I don't like filming my kids, so I did that with her off camera, and then I will show you in the end what her room looks like with the tree set up.
Todo lo que yo quería, hoy eres todo lo que quiero olvidar. Tú fuiste bla 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 y mi inseguridad lo hizo más fácil para ti.
So getting back to what I was talking about earlier, I am at a place right now where I just feel like anything that I do, I want to do in a way to honor God. And I just wasn't sure how my cleaning YouTube channel was going to be able to do that. And so something that I had been hearing a lot lately was to give your talents to God in a way. So whatever your talents are, whatever God has blessed you with, that you should use those talents to honor God. And I just kept thinking, like, I was actually talking to my sister about this the other day, and I was like, I just don't know what my talents are. And she kind of laughed at me because she's like, you know, in her mind, I do have a lot of talents. And I'm like, I'm really good at cleaning, I guess you could say. I'm really good at being able to see something and like replicate it, I guess you could say. When I was little, I would always draw, but I wasn't the type of person that could just think of something in my head and then draw it. I always would like refer back to something. So I would see like a picture of, say, Goofy or Minnie Mouse, and then I could replicate it. And I was always very particular about getting everything exactly right. And so I feel like that's kind of the same with my YouTube channel. I enjoy watching cleaning motivation videos, and so when I decided to go ahead and make my own channel, that is kind of how I made my layout. So I would go through all of the videos of these people that I follow and then take little things from each of them and just kind of like put that into my own videos. So my editing style and how I create these videos is based off of the people that I follow, and I don't follow like one person exactly to a T. It's just taking bits and pieces from people and then putting my own twist on it, I guess you could say. I also do really enjoy doing hair and makeup, but when I created my YouTube channel, I just didn't feel like that was something that I wanted to do. I did actually create a hair channel because I do like to do braids, and so I did a channel where I would braid my daughter's hair, but I stopped making videos on that channel because I wanted to focus on this channel here. And originally I created this channel to be like a vlogging family style channel, but then I realized I didn't want to do that, and I switched it up to being more of like a cleaning style channel. So anyway, I just kind of was feeling like I know what my talents are, I guess you could say, but I'm not really sure how to use those talents to honor God. It's just kind of, it's weird. And I've also been kind of thinking about like God's plan for me, and just trying to figure out what it is exactly that I am supposed to be doing. And so I just thought, well, I have my cleaning channel, and I think what I want to do is I'm still gonna do the cleaning, but I kind of want to share my journey a little bit more with you guys. So as I am going through and doing all of the cleaning, I will just kind of share with you guys some of the things that I am learning and some of the things that I have experienced as far as my spiritual journey. I felt like that would be nice, and I just hope that by doing that, I will be able to inspire somebody who is maybe going through something themselves, or I think with just teaching what I am learning will also help other people who are kind of on the same journey as well. And there is so much to learn. I have realized that with what I have been kind of going through, and I'm not going to share really much of it here in this video. I just kind of wanted to introduce you guys to the thought of me doing that here on this channel. So hopefully it'll help someone, and we'll just go from there.
Lo suelto encima de mi baby, siempre te siento, siempre te siento, siento. No hay nadie más con que prefiera bailar, aguanta y baila.
Alright, so my daughter's room is done. I did go ahead and put up her Christmas tree with her. I didn't record it just because she was helping me. She really wanted to help, so we just did that off camera, but that's here in the corner. This little kitchen right here is actually my son's kitchen, and she doesn't really like this being in her room. So I think when my husband comes back, I will go ahead and put that in the baby's room. And then I did put her dollhouse over here, and then just her laundry hamper. And then on this side, I decided to go ahead and put her bed here. It's not centered, and I did that on purpose just because I didn't want there to be like a super narrow area right here to walk in. But honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking I probably should have centered it. And then inside of this little box right here, this has all of her dollhouse furniture and like her dolls and stuff that was in the closet before, but I decided to go ahead and put it in here. And then inside of her closet, I did decide to put her dresser in here. I am actually planning on putting this back in the baby's room because this goes with the crib that he has in there, but I do need to change out like the handles on them because they're really girly. But I do want to get her like a plain white dresser to go in here. I don't know, I might try to find something that will fit all the way across because she has a lot of like dance clothes, and I would really like to be able to put all of her dance clothes in drawers instead of hung up like this because they take up a lot of space. So this is what her closet looks like. It's still pretty cluttered just because she has a lot of stuff, but I am planning on going through her toys with her because there are a lot of toys that she no longer plays with that we can get rid of, but I want to do that with her. That way I'm not getting rid of stuff that she actually likes. So, and then this shelf right here just has a lot of her more important toys that she really likes to play with. Like her rainbow high clothes are in this thing right here, her makeup, sunglasses, and then just all of her mini brands are in that thing. So like I said, this closet is still pretty cluttered. She has a couple of things up here that can get put away, and then all of those bags at the very top are the clothes that no longer fit her that I am saving for my nieces. So this right here is my son's room. The bedding that he had in here for Christmas last year is the bedding I put on my daughter's bed, but we did buy this for him this year from Target, and I think it looks really nice. So I do have to find his other 2 pillows that go back there, but he did clean his own room today. But this is what his room looks like, and we did also put up his Christmas tree. This is the one that he chose. It is just white with the blue lights on it, and I think it looks really cute. I do really need to get him a few nightstands, one here and one there, and then we want to put some lamps on them. And then in the future I do want to do something with this wall. So I want this wall to be an accent wall, but those are our future plans. Up next, I needed to go ahead and tackle the mess in the living room, and my littlest son decided to dump out all of the color pencils and crayons in this box, so I had to take all of that and just reorganize it. So the first thing I like to do when I go to clean an area is I just like to go around and pick everything up. Usually when a room is messy, it's because there is stuff in there that is not supposed to be in there. So a lot of times in the living room, the kids will leave like their jackets, their school supplies, books, toys and stuff like that. So I just go around and just pick up all of that stuff and put them away where they go. And then the next thing I usually like to do is to fluff the couch cushions, but on this day I did need to go ahead and vacuum under the cushions, so you'll see me do that first, where I just pull all of the cushions off the couch, vacuum them up, and then I will go back and put the cushions back on the couch and just kind of fluff them up a little bit and just get everything back to where it is supposed to be, because the kids do like to take the decorative pillows and just throw them all over the place, and they never ever stay where they're supposed to stay. And then once I got that done, one of the bigger tasks that I had to do here in the living room was to clean my ceiling fans. So just like the hanging lights in the kitchen, I have not cleaned this ceiling fan since we moved into this house. So it was pretty bad. I would say out of all of the ceiling fans in the house, this one was definitely the worst. It just had a lot of dust on it, and yeah, you'll see here in a bit as well. So it's kind of embarrassing, to be honest, but it's just kind of one of those things that you put off. And then especially because the ceilings here in the living room are so high up, I was just dreading having to get all the way up there to clean them. So it finally got to the point where it was really bugging me, and I was like, you know what, I just need to do it and just not worry about it anymore. So I did that, and then after that was done, I do go through and just wipe up all of like the coffee table and the side tables where I have my lamps. And then of course I needed to go ahead and vacuum the rug. And then at the very end, you will see me go ahead and spot clean the rug, because there were a few places where my kids had spilled stuff on the rug and I needed to go ahead and clean those up. And especially because I had just shampooed the rug not too long ago, I wanted to go ahead and get those spots up, because it just it was bugging me that I had just cleaned the rug and then all of a sudden there were these spots. So you'll see me do that later, and then I will move on to the next area.
You know I want him, nah, 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 nah. My heart is saying, yeah, 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 yeah. I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts, when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, if you want. Yeah, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter. Saying yeah, 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 yeah. I wanna na 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 now. Yeah, 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 yeah. I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts, when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, if you want. Yeah, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want.
So my favorite holiday, I would say, is definitely Christmas. And it's funny because I just felt like this year it went by so fast and I waited so long to decorate for Christmas. So my next video, you will see that the house is decorated for Christmas, but that's going to be the only one that you see. I didn't film myself decorating just because I waited so long. And I think it's funny because, that, like I said, that's the only video you're going to see where the house is decorated. And then the video after that is going to be me taking down my Christmas decorations. But I just wanted to know, like, what did you guys get for Christmas? What was like your favorite gift, or something that maybe you gave that was your favorite gift that you gave? I would definitely say that this year my favorite gift was a sink. So my husband did get me a sink for the kitchen. I had talked about this on my channel many times about wanting a single tub sink, and he surprised me with that for Christmas, and I was so excited. We actually just installed that about a week ago, so it has been awesome, and I would definitely say that is my favorite present. So yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to be able to see my new sink because it is so beautiful, and I'm just so in love with it. And then I also just wanted to know, what is your guys' New Year's resolutions this year? So for me, I would definitely say my number one thing is improving my relationship with God, just making sure that I am reading my Bible, that I am studying the Word, and I just really want to be able to get to a point where when I feel like I'm hearing God's voice, that I can be 100% sure. Because one of the things that I have heard is when people have questions about how do you hear God's voice, one of the main answers that you get from like pastors or people who are really in a deep relationship with God is they tell you that the more you get to know God, the easier it is to know that that is His voice that is speaking to you. So I just really want to do that this year, just try to, like I said, improve my relationship with God. And then also I did actually start working out at the very end of November, and I really want to get to a point again where I go to the gym regularly. I want to build muscle and just be a more healthy person for myself, because I have not worked out since I had my son, and he is a year and a half old. So that is definitely one of my goals that I have set for this year, just to make sure that I am working out regularly. Right now I am going to the gym 4 days a week, and so far I've been doing really well, so that's been going good. And I think the other thing that I really would like to achieve this year is to update some of the stuff in my house. It was built in 2021, so it is still pretty new, but one of the things that I didn't like when we got the house was that I felt like a lot of the interior is more old school style. Like, I don't necessarily like that we have the brown baseboards and like doors, so I really want to paint those white. The kitchen, I do not like the color of my cabinets, so I want to go ahead and paint the cabinets white. I really would like to get granite or quartz countertops, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen this year. But that is just like some of the plans that I have in my mind for the house, and I really want to get especially my daughter's room put together. So that is another one of my goals for this year, is just to try and tackle those things, because I did want to do them last year, and I do actually have the paint for my baseboards and for my cabinets, but I just haven't gotten around to actually doing it. So I just want to try and make that a priority this year. So hopefully by the end of the year, I will have nice white cabinets and my daughter's room will be decorated. So those are a few of my goals that I have for the year. And like I said, I want to know your goals as well. So if you want to let me know, go ahead and leave that in the comments section down below.
To last, but all the fun times we had, I'll never forget. We will always share a bond, no matter what, 'cause you have a piece of my heart. And I know that we're not perfect, but I'm gonna miss all that we had. Yeah, I know that we're not perfect, but I need this night for the last time. Stay, stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay if you stay, stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay if you stay, stay. If you stay, if you stay, if you stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay. Till the sun goes up, yeah, for a little moment. Just hold me closer, I'll be okay. Till the sun goes up, yeah, for a little moment. Just hold me closer, I'll be okay. We watch the
So here next, I'm going to go ahead and tackle this dining room. All I really needed to do was just clean up the table, and I needed to also wipe the windows behind the dining room table, and then of course clean the floors afterward. So that is what I'm going to do. And I just wanted to mention that something that has been on my mind when it comes to me wanting to share like my spiritual journey is that I kind of get the feeling like I guess you could say I feel unqualified, because yeah, I'm just a regular old person. Like, I haven't gone to like Bible school or anything like that. I'm just sharing my experience. Something that I did notice is that I noticed there are a lot of other YouTube moms here on this platform that I know through YouTube, and I feel like a lot of them maybe are feeling the same way I am, where they want to share about God, but at the same time they're just kind of feeling like they're not qualified, or they're just worried about the response they will get. And I just kind of figured I might as well mention it. And I just keep telling myself, like, it's okay. You don't have to be qualified to share your story and your experience. And along the way, I might get some things wrong, which is perfectly fine. I don't want people to think that I am trying to like be a preacher or anything like that. I am just sharing my journey, and that's really the only thing you can do. Telling your story is 100% true because it is your lived experience. So it's not like someone can come to you and say that's wrong. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that and just kind of give some encouragement to anybody else who might be listening or watching this video who is feeling the same way I am, where you kind of want to share your experience about God, but at the same time you're just worried about what people will think, or more so people telling you that you're not qualified to be speaking on that. Just know that I had the same thoughts, but I am just trying to push past them, and I will just continue to pray for God to just give me the right words to say when I am speaking about whatever it is that I might be speaking about that day. So once I get the table completely cleaned, then I will go ahead and throw the chairs up on the table, and I just like to do that because it makes it easier to clean under the table. And then I will pull out my Tinco iFloor 3 to go ahead and get these floors cleaned. I do still absolutely love this machine, and I definitely recommend it to anybody who wants to make cleaning your floors so much easier. But yeah, that is actually going to be it for this video. At the very end, I will kind of go back through my list and kind of show you guys what I was able to complete off of my list, because there were a couple of things that I wasn't able to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close out this video here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for clicking on this video, for watching the video, for being subscribed. And if you are not subscribed, I would love to have you as a subscriber on my channel. So yeah, again, I just want to say thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you sit here and watch my videos, because I do put a lot of work into creating them, and I am just so excited for what this year is going to bring. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you have an amazing 2023, and I will plan on seeing you in the next one. Bye guys.
Stepping on toes with these humble and everlasting egos. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Oh, here he goes, oh, here he goes. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. With his humble and everlasting egos.
Wanna be the person that you call up when you're down. Wanna be the first who knows all of your deepest secrets. Can I be the one who wakes you up before you miss your ride? 'Cause I wanna be close to you, and I wanna show you something new. You gotta know, every day I got your back, yeah, you can count on me for that. So put your hand in mine, I will be there every day. When you're sick of the climb, I will make sure it's okay. I know you didn't ask for any of this, but we reach for the sky. As we're flying colors now. Gonna try to keep the pace, but someday we will find that the world has changed, but we stay true to each other. I will always be there for you whenever you need my help. I'm taking my time to be your rock. I don't ever wanna be apart. You gotta know.
So I'm gonna go ahead and check off everything on my list that I have completed. There is one thing that I didn't complete. I did clean the hanging lights in the kitchen. We did the dishes in the kitchen. My daughter's room, put up her Christmas tree. Sand, fill, and paint the coffee table I did not do again. I feel like this one keeps getting put on the back burner. It's really not as important, and we are actually getting ready for Thanksgiving, so I just really needed to get a lot of this stuff done, and that can wait until after. Clean the living room, spot clean the rug, dining room, floors, and then the ceiling fan in the living room. So out of the whole list, I did everything except sand fill and paint the coffee table, which I think is pretty good.